Hello my diamonds, it's me, Colorbling. I know I haven't updated you in a while, so we're going to start with the basics. This is a part of an ongoing series called Colorbling and it's where I basically tell you my opinions on different subjects. This one is your introductory video where I'm just going to tell you a little bit about myself and about my tastes so that you know what you're in for. Now we're going to start with Colorbling and pop culture. This is something I might go into separate episodes for these subjects, but it's not something that necessarily is all really big and encompassing enough for one episode at a time. So I figured I'd give you the basics with that. As far as Harry Potter is concerned, I was sorted into Slytherin House. If you wanted percentages, it's 77% Slytherin, and then coming second was Ravenclaw with 65%, then Gryffindor with 50%, and Hufflepuff with 15%. I guess I'm not very nice. And that's a quiz that is based off of the Pottermore questions. And I also took the Pottermore quiz, which sorted me into Slytherin. My favorite character is Regulus Black, because he was the only person besides Dumbledore early on that actually knew what the heck he was doing with Horcruxes. And he was also in Slytherin, I think, so that's cool. If I had to pick a favorite class at Hogwarts, I'd probably go with Charms or Care of Magical Creatures. So, because animals, man, they're cool, and they do stuff, including magical ones. As far as Lord of the Rings is concerned, my favorite book in Tolkien's whole world was The Hobbit, because my favorite species of creature, person, being, is dwarves. I find them fascinating. I really love what Peter Jackson did with the dwarves and their culture and their whole aesthetic and everything with the Lord of the Rings films, especially the Hobbit trilogy, which, you know, everybody has their opinion on whether or not we needed 3 movies. I think it's kind of nice. It's kind of cool. Now, I am a college student. I've said that 50 million times across various videos that I do. And my major right now is I'm getting my associate in arts in literature, but I'm also highly fascinated by communications and mass comms. This semester I'm taking a class called Intercultural Communication, and I couldn't be happier about it. It's just so cool. And the teacher's really cool too. I'm also the president of my college's LGBTQ club, which is one of the things that I look for and really care about when I am ingesting pop culture, whether it be video games or movies or books or what have you. So it's something I'm very much aware of and I very much focus on. Movies, as far as movies are concerned, my favorite movies, gosh, that's tough. I do like the Die Hard series, I'm not gonna lie. The Mummy with Ben Fraser and Rachel Weisz, I think her name is. I really like that one. That one's cool. Then there is The Fifth Element. I love The Fifth Element. I think it's a funny movie. Let's see. That's 2 Bruce Willis movies, franchises, so I like The Grinch. I'm not gonna lie, I like The Grinch. My favorite classic movies are Casablanca and Arsenic and Old Lace. One of my favorite actors actually ever was Cary Grant. I think he was amazing and pioneering. He was one of those actors who was really good at having an even keel. Unfortunately, he was mostly cast in comedies, but he could play a serious role so well. I wish we could have seen more of it in his career. But, I say but a lot, don't I? I took a public speaking class. I should be better at that, but I'm not. Anyway, Colorbling and games. Now, as you know, this channel started out as a gaming channel, so I have a lot of games that I like. My favorite game series of all time ever is probably BioShock. And I'm not talking about BioShock Infinite. I think that was a decent game. It was a good game. But I think it would have been better if it wasn't called a BioShock game and it was just by itself. That's just me. That's just my opinion. I could be mistaken according to others. But, there's that. The favorite out of the first 2 BioShock games, though, is the second. My favorite character in the entire BioShock series is Augustus Sinclair. Another favorite game series, as you can tell by my channel, is the Batman Arkham games. I have started playing Arkham Knight. It is probably my favorite because of a certain character I will not mention in this is in that game, so. I like the Lego games, and I know a lot of people are like, oh, those are kid games, those are okay. So the Lego games have a special place in my heart simply because those were games that I was playing with my 3 and 5-year-old cousins when I babysat them back when I was like 18 years old. So they have a lot of sentimental value to me, especially the Lego Batman game, so that's a favorite. I also like Killing Floor, both 1 and 2. I have both. They're great. If you don't have them, get them. They're worth every penny. They're fun. Shoot 'em up. Left 4 Dead 1 and 2, of course, especially Left 4 Dead 2. The Dead Space series is good, although I don't really know how I feel about Dead Space 3. It's really tough for me to determine whether or not I like that one. I mean, the graphics were good, the story was long, and the horror was completely gone. That's why I loved the second one, was because it was scary. Like, Isaac Clarke knew what he was doing, and he had seen necromorphs before, but there was still that element of fear to it that I really liked, so, and that was gone in the third one, completely. Infamous Second Son is another favorite of mine. I do not have a PlayStation 4. I do, however, have a friend that does and has that game, and I played it with him, and I love it. It's great for so many reasons, especially because we have a protagonist that is a person of color, which is another thing that I focus on in media, because I like having representation of people of color. So that's A+. Good job. Dragon Age. I do like Dragon Age. I first was introduced to Dragon Age through Origins, but I didn't get as into it as a lot of other people did. I know, I'm a loser. I do like Inquisition simply because of graphics, and I know a lot of people complained about Inquisition because it's so open world, but honestly that was something that I didn't mind in the slightest. I actually quite enjoyed it. I have over 700 hours of Dragon Age Inquisition logged on Origin, but in my defense, like 500 of those hours were because I played it at 2 o'clock in the morning and fell asleep. In my defense. I also like Hotline Miami. I have not played the second one yet. I'm so stoked for it though. There's The Forest, which is fun. Cannibals. I might start playing some videos of that more often. Alien Isolation was good. I have a friend who wants me to start playing Skyrim too. I'm late to the party on that one. I'll have to look into it. Now, like, as far as games are concerned, like, there's themes in games that I try to focus on and find, and that is representation of women and how they're portrayed in video games and what that means on a social level, because not only am I a lit major, I'm also big on mass comms and pop culture. So, there's that. Of course, LGBTQ representation, I like it when there are characters who are not heteronormative. And one of the reasons why I like Dragon Age Inquisition was because there was a positive portrayal of a transgender character in that, so A+, cookies, all that jazz. Characters of color I already touched on, and I really like, especially with games lately, there's this decision-making mechanic where everything you do has a consequence. I've always liked that about games, which is why one of my other favorite games is Far Cry 4 and Dishonored. Dishonored is another favorite. I can't believe I forgot to mention Dishonored. God! It's on my channel! God, I should know better. So there's that. And then there is Colorbling and Comics, because I do love comics a lot. Now, the big question is Marvel or DC? I can tell you without even flinching or debating it, it is DC or nothing. Okay, that's harsh to say I don't care about Marvel. I just haven't really read much of anything in Marvel except Civil War, which, you know, at one point in time that was all that was worth reading according to some, the harsher critics in the world. But DC is definitely my favorite. It started when I was little, and Batman the Animated Series was on TV. I loved it. I had it on VHS. God, that makes me feel old. And after that, it was, of course, there was the Batman movies, and then they came out with the Batman Arkham games. I actually started reading the comic books themselves around 2007 when The Dark Knight came out. And the first comic that I read all the way through, that I didn't just pick up in passing but actually read, was already as set as a graphic novel, and that was A Serious House on Serious Earth. And I read that, and just the art in it was amazing, which kind of led me into reading a little bit of Sandman. Just a little, but it was great. My favorite characters in DC are probably everybody in the Bat family. Alfred, especially. He's great. Superman, Superboy, Wonder Woman, Arsenal, who at the time that I became a fan of him was called Red Arrow. I like the Huntress. I like Vic Sage. He's a great one. The Riddler is my favorite of the Batman villains, even though he's kind of stupid. I don't want to use the word stupid. Even though he's kind of ridiculous and slow on the uptake when it comes to deductive reasoning. You know, he's so supposedly so intelligent in the comic books, and yet it takes him... He's completely off base when it comes to figuring out who Batman is in the Arkham games. Too bad. As far as favorite stories, of course, there was Arkham: A Serious House, which I mentioned. There's Green Lantern Rebirth. Teen Titans Year 1 is really cute. Under the Red Hood, not Under the Hood, because Under the Red Hood is the graphic novel edition that has Batman Annual in it, which explains how Jason Todd came back and all that good stuff. And I have a special place in my heart for Jason Todd. I don't give a shit if anybody says he's a piss baby. I love him. He's great. He's got a lot of depth to him. Like, he's good. He's cool. It's just killing people is bad, but small detail. Anyway, that's pretty much everything I can think of. My favorite song at the moment. Well, I should pick a song that's completely timeless and I never get tired of, which is God Bless the Child by Billie Holiday, which kind of ties into liking BioShock. Like, I've always loved music from the 40s, 50s, and to have jazz and swing and everything of that genre and era in BioShock, when I played it the first time, I was like, oh, choirs of angels. But I'm sure I will get more in depth with video games, with comic books, with other facets of pop culture in individual increments and episodes. And I will also be reflecting on things like what's going on in the news, because culture is something that is happening right now. This right here, what we're doing, that's culture. So, be cultural with me, and we'll go on a journey together, and it'll be fun. But anyway, if you liked this, give it a like. If you want to see more, be sure to subscribe to my channel, where I will be updating on the regular, even though I have school and 50 million things I have to do. I will at least be putting up the culture, the Colorbling and stuff, and I'll be doing that on the regular, because that's a lot easier to update with than recording a video game. Because, fun fact, a lot of video game YouTubers will tell you this. They record an episode for you that's maybe 15 minutes long, but for them, it takes at least 3 hours to edit it, depending on what game it is, and how they recorded it, and then it takes at least anywhere between another 3 hours to 9 hours, depending on their internet connection, to upload the thing. So, there's a lot of work that goes into YouTube. God, you have to love this. That's the thing. You have to love it. And I think it's fun. I am not emotionally ready to tell it that I love it, but I care very deeply about it. But anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. Check out my Redbubble for Colorbling merch. Don't forget, I will link to it in the description. There will be a link to Loot Crate, which you should definitely check out because they're really cool and there's a bunch of swag in there. And I still have stuff from my Loot Crates on the regular. Of course, I need to resubscribe because I stopped for a little bit because I moved. Details. Anyway, I'm thanking you guys so much right now for checking out this video. I hope you're doing well. Keep out of trouble. Keep smiling. You're fantastic. You're amazing. You're a diamond. You cut everything around you because you're that frickin' tough. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye.